Hello, everyone, and welcome to For the Queen, Episode 5. I am
Hi.
Dade, GM of the Lore Seekers. With me is Hyper Pixie, as always, and Adelware, both Lore Seekers in their own right.
Oh
Pixie,
yeah.
Pixie, how you been? You moved, so you had to take a week off, and thank you, Katie, for joining in to take her place. So what's
Thanks
going
so
on?
much, Katie. It's been a crazy couple of months. We bought a house, moved to a new city, and had to get set up with internet and all that, so it took a while to get back in game and back where I could do any kind of content creation. But I'm happy to be back.
Awesome. And with us, as I said, is Adelware. He
Oh
is
yeah.
a former PvP lead for the Lore Seekers, and he took a little break to play a game that I think Hyperpixie was also playing, and a lot of other people took a break to play.
Yes.
But we won't go into that because we don't really have time. But so tell us a little bit about yourself, Adelware. What class do you play? What race are you? What do you like about the
All
Lore
right.
Seekers? All that fun stuff.
All right. Well, let's see. Generally speaking, I've been playing MMOs for 20 something years. Got started with Dark Age of Camelot, moved on to Warhammer, and then I got stuck in here and I've been playing this since beta. And right now I'm playing predominantly a Nord Dragon Knight. I know, meta blah. But originally it was an imp, and I miss my imps. But yeah, I played the Nord Dragon Knight. I've got a Khajiit Stealther who was my very first character, and that guy was named Vespa because I like scooters. Um, yeah, I play a plethora of characters. It goes from the Dragon Knight, got a Sork, I've got a Necromancer that I really try to get into every now and then, but I just haven't been able to get them into the rotation as much as I'd like because I always find myself stuck onto Adaware. So
Have to go back to the Necromancer. You have to.
Yeah.
I love the Necromancer. It's just this is where I'm at. So
I get it. That's how I am with my Necromancer. I try to make other tunes, I just end up back on this Necromancer. So.
right. So but yeah, I've been a member of Lore Seekers. Geez, I don't even remember how long. Since for at least what 2 Midyear Mayhems, 3 Midyear Mayhems. No, I'm not even sure how long
You've
I've
been
been
around a while.
involved with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but originally, the podcast, what Jibs and Cash were originally doing is what really got me into the Lore Seekers. I thought the community was an absolute amazing community, very, very just chill and relaxed and no drama. It was just phenomenal.
And knock on wood, we keep it that way.
Absolutely. So, I've been having an absolute blast. I had the luxury of being able to be asked to be a PvP lead by Jibs and Cash, and helped build up the PvP community within the Lore Seekers. And it's just been an absolutely amazing ride the entire time.
Awesome, man.
And now you got a lot of people that are into the whole PvP thing now, and I mean we've filled out a whole bunch of stuff for it. It's been an absolute fun ride. I've been so pleased and so proud to be a part of that.
And we will talk about that into more detail. Yes, Mitzi, my cat, has paid us a little visit. She's right here on camera with us all. She says hi.
Hi, Mitzi.
Yes.
Hi, kitty.
She's queen of this particular castle. So, as you can see, we are at some ruins. We are in Cyrodiil, so we may die at any moment. I brought along some bodyguards here. We have Lance, who's one of our PvP leads now, and looks like over here, there's Mio Millennial is with us as well. They're going to try to protect us a little bit while we get into our lore lesson. So, Hyper Pixie, this is your cue. Where are we at? What are we doing? What is this?
I might butcher the pronunciation, but we're at an Ayleid ruin called Sardavar Lead, and it used to be known as Sard for short. It's an alien settlement that's just south of Lake Rumare in the Great Forest in Cyrodiil. It was used by the aliens for torturing humans and breeding them for slavery, so it kind of has a very, very dark past. What's special about this human breeding ground, though, is Saint Alessia was actually brought here as a child and served as a slave here in the First Era. She actually, after praying to Akatosh and the rest of the divines, managed to escape and started the Alessian slave rebellion that she's known so well for. Fort Alessia, which is just over yonder nearby, is actually named in her honor, obviously. And it played a significant role during the Three Banners War because of its location so close to the Imperial City. It's a key point for holding the Imperial City. In the third era during the game Oblivion, it was actually taken over by hostile conjurers that used this place for trafficking with the Daedra in secret. So there was some Daedric activity here in Oblivion, go figure, with the whole Daedric incursion thing that we might see a little bit more of with Blackwood incoming. I'm excited about that.
Right on. Yes, we wanted to go to a Cyrodiil place. This also has a little bit of a link to Oblivion. This location is in Oblivion, the game, which is Elder Scrolls. Can't believe I forgot. I think 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.
15 years ago. But this happens 800 years after what's happening right now. So awesome. Thank you, Hyperpixie, for that little lore lesson.
No problem.
And there's been some news in ESO.
Just a little bit of news.
Yes. We have our new year-long adventure that will be starting up. Gates of Oblivion. The first release, Flames of Ambition, will be on March 8th. And we'll get 2 new dungeons. Those are Black Drake Villa and the Cauldron. I believe those just came out on PTS, so you can try them out there if you want to see what it's all about. Moving on, the Blackwood release is June 1st. That is the main release. They have not announced when to release for Quarter 3 of DLC or Quarter 4, but Quarter 3 will be a dungeon pack, and Quarter 4 will be a story zone.
They did come out and say that the story zone was going to take place entirely in the Deadlands, so in maybe Dagon's realm.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen some video from the Deadlands, it looks pretty amazing. It's going to be a cool location. This chapter is going to bring all new adventures and features for us to enjoy, including the new Zone Blackwood, as I mentioned, a fiendish main storyline that ties into the Gates of Oblivion adventure, the new companion system that I'll talk a little bit about, a new 12-player trial, Rock Grove, yay, new world events, Oblivion portals, which will be like the, what were they called in Western Skyrim?
Oblivion Gates. Oh wait, in Western Skyrim, Harrow Storms.
Sorry,
I thought you meant Oblivion.
And in Somerset are the geysers, and there are dolmens across all the base game. Yes. So in this expansion, there'll be Oblivion portals. There'll be new delves, public dungeons, world bosses, and standalone quests. 30 hours of content, from what I hear, along with updates and quality of life improvements that we've all been waiting for, of course. I'm also very excited, and I want to start off talking about this, is the prologue quest. What was that, Adel?
We've got blues coming through.
Oh boy, fun.
Guys might get to see us murdered on stream soon. I can't fight to save my life.
All right, so...
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We need those warnings there in Cyrodiil. One of the things I'm excited about is the new prologue quest that Rich explained a little bit, but it's neat in that, yes, you'll learn about how to play the game for new players, but at the end of that prologue quest, you get to choose where you want to go now instead of just being dumped out into the new expansion. So I think that's pretty cool. Hyperpixie, how about you? What are you most looking forward to in this new expansion?
With any new expansion, I'm most looking forward to the new story and the new zones. I really love the stories told in this game and the exploration aspect of it. So that's first and foremost. As far as the champion system, though, not champion system, we'll talk about that in a minute. that's awesome as well. But the companion system, as somebody who mains a healer and is now tanking also, I know how painful it is to level a tank and healer, so the companion system is going to make that so much nicer, being able to just switch them to a DPS and have them damage the things for you and help you out, so that way you're not there for an hour doing something silly to try to level. And also being able to go back into content like the world bosses from previous expansions where there's usually not as many people hanging around at them, but say I wanted to go back and get the motifs from Somerset from those daily quests, it's nice to know that I can pull out my companion and have them attack a world boss with me instead of trying to do it by myself on a healer, which would take hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Most other MMORPGs have gone in that direction, so I'm glad to see that we are now getting companions. And from what I hear, they can fill any role you need them to fill. DPS, healing, tank, whatever. You can equip them. You can do, well, many things. We'll have to wait and see, but it is very exciting. I'm kind of wondering dungeons. So if you had 2 people for a dungeon, could 2 people bring 2 companions and get through a dungeon?
That would be nice. They did mention during the stream, they said it'll be able to go into most any content with you, excluding PvP. But I don't know if that was just something said offhand or if they will be able to go into dungeons with you. We've just kind of got to wait and see for more information.
Right. Okay,
but it makes sense. That's kind of what Final Fantasy does now. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. Adalware, what do you think? What are you most looking forward to in this expansion?
Oh, and geez, in this expansion. Well, right now I'm really looking forward to the champion points, but that's prior to the expansion. You know, within the expansion itself, I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen regarding the prologue and how you get to do the different choices within the prologue. And I'm curious to see what exactly that's going to, you know, come about with that, because that's just curious to me exactly what's going to happen there.
Well, you mentioned the new champion point system, so let's get into that a little bit. Do you know much about it? What's going to happen with it?
I don't know a lot about it. I was hoping to get into the PTS to be able to mess about with it earlier today, and of course PTS didn't open up until about a minute before the show started, so completely oblivious to that.
I can give some general information about it.
Yeah,
so
go ahead, Pixie.
Basically right now, cap is currently CP 810. They're raising that cap all the way to CP 3600, which sounds really daunting, but they are adjusting the curve at which you gain CP. So if you're at 810 or just hit 810 recently, like I did, you're going to start gaining CP faster than you did just before 810 and above. So you're going to see a little bit of increased CP gain. On the trees themselves, they've been completely reimagined. Instead of 6 constellations to spread out your red, green, and blue CP, you're going to have 3 constellations. And there's going to be 1 for crafting, 1 for warfare, and I forget what the third one is. But basically, whenever you get in there, you'll have 1,200 points each at max level to spend your points however you want within those 3 trees. But then you'll notice at the top of your screen there's going to be a little bar that's segmented off, and I don't remember if it's 4 or 5 slots in there. But say you have put some skill points or put some CP points into a particular passive. So for me, I would immediately go for the healing buffs. You have to then activate that by dragging it up to the bar. And so for warfare, you can have either 4 or 5 passives slotted in that. And so I can unlock a whole bunch of them with my 1,200 points, but for depending on the content and for what I'm going for that day, I'm going to have to swap out what my active passives are. And then in that same vein, they wanted to go for more horizontal character growth. So the warfare branch is everything to deal with fighting and combat. The crafting branch, the one that I remember them showing, had to do with you have X% chance whenever you res a character to not use a soul gem. So you'll have more soul gems for yourself. So it'll be kind of outside of a necessarily strictly combat sense in those other branches. And you can slot either 4 or 5 of those as well. And I don't think they showed too much of that red skill tree. Something else that they added in this, instead of having your 6 constellations, like I said, you went down to 3, but some of them have, and I'm assuming all of them will at some point, will have sub constellations where it'll be a slightly different color point. Whenever you click on it, it'll take you to a new constellation within that one. They're still segmented off in a very particular way, so I think to a new user that's going to make more sense. And you're going to be able to kind of guess where you're wanting to go for what you're wanting to slot. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it makes builds really flexible. It will be a little bit of a learning curve to just figure out what you need to slot for which situation. It's kind of going to make meta a little bit different, but I'm really looking forward to it. And apparently, because you're only going to be able to slot so many of them, it will likely improve performance in the game somewhat because it's less server-side calculations on each action that you're having to go through.
Right. So the 4 or 5 skills, I guess, that you're going to select from your tree, do you think those would be active skills that you could use on your bar, or do you think those are passives?
Those are passives, from what you're saying.
All right. Yeah, that does sound interesting. I'm looking at the chat, and I just want to clarify when I was talking about there will be a prologue quest coming out, and that's going to have to do with the new year-long adventure. What I was referring to with where you get to choose where you want to go is when you start the game new, the tutorials, the tutorial quest at the very beginning. I may have said prologue quest, so I apologize. So yeah, once you get that tutorial quest at the end of that, then you get to choose where you get to go anywhere in the game through a portal. There's a big portal room that I've seen that you go through to start your adventure in the world. You're not just dumped out into the new expansion. That's just to clarify there. Also, what I saw today is pretty interesting. I think it just came out on the ESO News, but it was the first that I heard of it anyway. It was the new collection piece. We had the Indrix that you could build off of, where you collect the tickets, you buy the Indrix pieces, collection, you build it up, get an Indrix, then you morph it into something else. So this year, you get, first of all, you build a basic pet. I believe it's 3 pieces to put that together. It looks like a little meteor or something, but it's a pet. But from that, you can morph it into what's going to be the first thing is a skin for your character. So it won't morph into another pet. You can morph it into a skin, which is interesting. There's a lot of directions that can go with that. So that will keep us on our toes. That is pretty cool. I like that it's not going to be another mount or just another pet or anything like that. It could be anything now, and they're just starting with a skin. So that is really cool.
I think they said that they're going to do the first morph would end up being a skin. The next one would end up being a mount, and another one would actually end up being a house.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That's a great move. Because I know I am fed up with Indrix. I'm tired of hearing about trying to collect Indrix. All right, so that's pretty much from the expansion. The new expansion we have coming out. There'll be more news coming, but that's what we know now. Starting tomorrow, it's one of our favorite events, Midyear Mayhem. Yeah, and this will start tomorrow at 10 a.m. and it continues until Tuesday, February 9th.
2 weeks ago, yes.
Yeah, and things you can get out of this is a new Ebon Steel armor outfit style pages, the Second Legion outfit style pages, and as usual, you can claim the Midyear Victor's Laurel Wreath collectible by completing all the Midyear Mayhem achievements. Pleniel's Midyear Boon boxes, which contain many awesome items, including new fragments for a rune box containing Alliance Breton Terrier pets. So it's a little terrier dog with the Alliance flag draped on them, or a little coat or something like that. You also get your event tickets. In this particular event, you get 2 tickets for completing any Cyrodiil or Battleground daily quest, and you get 1 ticket for completing any Imperial City District daily quest. So you don't get them all 3 at once. You'll have to do a couple different things to get all 3 of your tickets daily. So from this, Adaware, who's our former PvP lead, now back into the game, and I'm sure we're going to see him a lot in Cyrodiil.
Oh yeah.
A little bit about the last Midyear Mayhem we had as Lore Seekers. How did that go for us? And I know it went well.
Oh, geez. The last one, the last mid-year, we had Ardeth, Grem, myself, and Lanth all doing a whole bunch of leading and just running ourselves absolutely rampant throughout the entire 2 weeks. If I remember correctly, we ended up getting lore seekers. We ended up getting what, 36 imps, 36, 30,
It was in
somewhere.
the 30s somewhere. Yeah, we
Yeah,
made 30 something emperors.
It was some crazy amount of number of imps for just the lore seekers guild. There was a few people that we got imp that were not even lore seekers as well. It was just an absolute insanity. But it was also a whole heck of a lot of fun. I mean, we had a whole bunch of people that don't come into PvP and were enjoying the experience of organized combat, within this environment, and realizing it's not as scary as you think. We try to have a wonderful time, and some of the events, when we were doing Midyear Mayhem, I remember one night we ended up, it was one of the first times that we had a lore seekers group going. We ended up getting everybody into a keep, and we were attacking the keep, taking the door down, and we got word that there was an incoming Zerg coming towards us. And instead of actually going into the keep and actually trying to defend, take the keep down and make it ours, we said, no, we're going to do something a little cheeky. And we ended up going upstairs and going into a wee cubby hole, and all just went in stealth. They came in, they packed up, cleaned up the place, but they never found us. And then we ended up waiting about 3-4 minutes later. Then we all came down, went in, took the keep, and that was a keep that managed to get, I don't even remember who it was, but we managed to get imp based off of that little tactic. And everyone was just laughing their heads off because it was such a stupid maneuver that should never have worked. And somehow it did. But yeah, just the how everyone runs with the lore seekers is just amazing fun. If you're a member of lore seekers and you've not done PvP with us, come in, join it. It's a lot of fun. You'll have an absolute blast. And we're not going to be, this is how you have to do things. Everyone's laid back. Everyone just chill and has as much fun as humanly possible.
Absolutely, man. PvP has always been fun with this guild. So please join in when you can. Welcome back, Pixie. And
sorry about that. Had an emergency with the little one.
Oh, that's okay. It happens.
No worries.
Yeah. And on that note, for the Lore Seekers Guild on the PCNA side, we are preempting all events that we normally have during the week for the length of Midyear Mayhem. So we can all just get into PvPing. There will be somebody online at any time, every evening, most likely in Cyrodiil, getting their thing done. Imperial City, the sewers, whatever we have to do. So please take a chance if you have never done it and join up with us and do it. I don't think you'll regret it. It's a lot of fun. And it's a good break from if you're used to just running dungeons all the time, every night, or whatever, running trials. This is a good change of pace for the game. Give you something new to focus your energies on.
Yes.
Pixie, are you going to get involved with the Midyear Mayhem stuff?
Yeah, so I don't know if I'll be able to run too much with the Lore Seekers because it's just going to be scheduling things for me. I'm going to probably the next couple days just hop in enough to get my tickets, but Saturday I plan to spend some time in PvP unless one of my dungeon buddies needs me for something.
Awesome.
Cool.
So I saw a question out on the chat. Trelia ESO asks, how do I join? So to join Lore Seekers, you can go to www.loreseekerseso.org. That takes you to our main page, and from there you can apply for membership and you can go from there. So thank you for asking, and thank you for your interest. Also, let's see what we have coming up. This Sunday, Aramethius is going to have another one of his famous lore taverns.
Oh, nice.
You can join him in Discord, and if you're on PCEU, you can join him in game. It'll be January 31st, which is this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The topic will be recurring characters. It's pretty cool. I say this every week, but if you've never heard Aramethius talk his lore, it's awesome. He knows his stuff, and he's fun to chat with about it. On the PlayStation side, Never Separate sent a note saying the Guild Retreat now has all Cyrodiil and Imperial City crafting stations available to the guild, so that's awesome. You don't have to worry about dying when you're trying to craft gear. That's a good thing, right? Xbox Fairgill says that also in our guild we have crafting house at Chatterbox's residence, all DLC content, crafting stations, and growing. Good, and they're working out all their weekly events and gearing up for Cyrodiil tomorrow. Awesome, which I think we all should be doing. It's so much fun. And they're raising money for a new guild house right now. They have about half in the bank, and donations of gold are always welcome. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. We're getting towards the end of the show, and we have World Boss Wednesday to run. What's up, Adele?
Oh, I just read what Sparky said. 24-hour PvP.
If you guys don't know, that was pretty much Adalware last Midyear Mayhem. Or was the one before? I don't remember, but that guy, he was online constantly.
Yeah. Last year it was. I'm not going to be doing what I did last year. I need sleep and I have to do work. So
you should just take vacations when Midyear Mayhem rolls around, right?
In all fairness, I probably should have thought about that, but because I didn't take any vacation last year. So too late now, though. Can't. Maybe I might be able to pull something for next week, though.
All right, awesome.
Last time I was in PvP, I was here blindfolded, so that was interesting.
I remember that too. That was fun.
What?
It was we were doing Extra Life, and I had this wheel of punishments anytime somebody would donate to the charity that I'd have to spin, and one of them was play blindfolded for however many minutes the donation was. And I had, for like 7 minutes, I had to run around Cyrodiil blindfolded, and the group I was with, I had people in voice who were kind of like supposed to be guiding me on where to go so that way I could hit them with things. But they decided to say, yes, stop right there. You're hitting them. Just keep doing that. And then whenever I took off the blindfold, I was just in the middle of a field doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, what was your
That's phenomenal.
The other thing you had to do that Adalware will find amusing and troubling at the same time was that when anybody mentioned AD to you.
Oh my god. I'm so glad that's over. I had to disavow the Aldmeri Dominion for an entire month because we hit a donation goal.
That I wouldn't be able to play.
I had to trash talk the queen. It was awful.
I'm glad that wasn't me because I would have to cut off a tattoo.
Oh god. You just cover it up. That's all.
I'm sure you all know by now that we're very AD centric here at Lore Seekers. All three of us are heavy in AD, but we do have members that are part of other alliances, and that is fine. You guys can do that. And with Midyear Mayhem, I mean, you guys may even be able to scrounge up enough to come in and get beat by us, by your AD friends, Lore Seeker friends. So, I don't know, maybe you might be able to get 5 of you together. I don't know. I'm just teasing. Yes, we have good people that are in the other alliances, great lore seekers, and
yes,
if at all possible, we will get together another alliance. Yeah, I'm being logged out. Awesome. Well, that's good because the show's about to end. A big announcement, though. So I mentioned on the last show that we're trying to get together a Lore Seekers live meeting, much like they did in Vegas at one point. So this year we're going to do it in Orlando, and the date is going to be May 21st. It's a Friday, at the very least, and we're going to try to get together at least and have dinner. We'll see how much interest there is, what's going on. I know Hyperpixie lives in Florida, right? Unless you moved out of state.
I'm in North Florida, but
Yeah.
it's a bit of a drive.
So, yep, we got that. I know Gone Crazy Back Soon is in Orlando, so if she's not there, well, I don't know. I'll talk to her about that later. But in all seriousness, it's May 21st, Friday in the Orlando area. If at all you can be there, try. There's a lot of things to do in Orlando. Everybody knows that. There's Disney World, there's Universal, lots of stuff you can do with the family. And if you want to stop by and see Lore Seeker friends, we're going to arrange some kind of dinner and get together on May 21st. Do we have any questions? I didn't see any pop up on the stream. I don't think so.
No questions out there.
Awesome. Since the last one, how do I join? I like that one. So, this week, it's Midyear Mayhem. Let's get out there. Everybody be safe and embrace your PvP-nesses. I love that Cash came up with that. You can find the Lore Seekers at www.loreseekerseso.org or Twitter at loreseekers.eso. Twitch is loreseekers_ESO. You can find Hyperpixie at Hyperpixie Gaming on Twitch. And Adalware, are you going to be streaming? I heard you mention that. Are you going to be streaming soon? What's your?
Eventually, it's still a work in progress.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for that. And I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else to add to the show, guys?
Not that I can think of. It's been fun. Sorry I had to take off in the middle for a few minutes there.
No.
No worries. Important. Family emergencies.
Okay, so tonight we have World Boss Wednesday going on for most platforms. So let's get out there and do it, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye everybody.